Hello Model Railroad fans. This video is going to be a long one. It's a review of 4 summers work here on my New Hampshire layout. Just picked out parts of all the videos. This is a condo we bought in 2021. It's the totally empty basement in the bottom of the condo. I did a lot of track planning. And worked with Bill Baronic for a while, and he sent me a draft track plan. But I decided I really would rather do it myself. I appreciate Bill's work, and so I started with my 4x8 mentality, just kind of laying out ideas. I didn't want to have a lift-up gate, so I looked at dog bone, decided that was going to work, so I had to do a gate. It's my work bench I bought. Had to put radon control in the basement. I used Google Earth and to look at the way the railroad goes through Creston. This is my overall plan to start with without the lift up, and Bill Baronic was kind enough to point out how I could do it differently, so I ended up with the lift up gate. That arrow points to the first bench work I'm going to build. So that's my first bench work, very simple. 2x3s. This is on the back end of the basement. Here I'm painting foam in my garage. So this is pretty much all the bench work I did in the first summer, or the first summer. So that's how much I got done first summer. That's Creston on the top. And I start, after the bench work's done, I start laying out track. I've soldered up a whole bunch of feeders. Here I am under the layout with my creeper, installing wiring. Here I have my trains running just in the Creston area. I built a co-op, ran the trains up and down the track a little bit. And so that's the way it ended up at the end of the first summer. So I boxed everything up and ready to go back to San Antonio. Okay, here's season 2. I bought that car top carrier to carry all the stuff I bought over the winter. Got up here, I'm spreading my stuff out. Lots more buildings, turnouts, just all kinds of stuff. Here I'm starting to lay out Cargill. And this I'm starting electrical work here for the MRC. More work on Cargill. Spent a lot of time working on Cargill. Bought a bunch of, asked my granddaughter running trains. Bought the little switcher for the Cargill. Get the loading platforms, trucks, Cargill box cars, grain cars. Worked on some buildings for Creston. Bought that plastic road system. More Cargill work. Went out and bought a bunch of lumber. Here I am, Fast Freddy, building bench work. So that's the first bench work on the east side. There's the completed east side of the basement. And I'm starting to lay out the ethanol plant there. I paint my cork gray so I don't have to ballast right away. I think it looks a lot better. Had an electrician come in and set up outlets in the ceiling so I could wire things. Now I'm starting the peninsula. Yeah, some of my bench work isn't perfect. It's a big wide peninsula. Got it painted using my cardboard template. So that's pretty much the end of season 2 bench work. Here I'm focused on what I'm going to do the third summer. So I loaded up my car top carrier and took a bunch of stuff back to Texas. Here's season 3. I bought some locomotives and all kinds of cars. I bought a bunch of extra MRC gear. Bought lumber early in the summer this time. Working over there on the west side of the basement. That's the north side. It's the bench work for the east, more the east side. I was going to curve that corner and decided it was too much work. There you see the where I need to build the lift up right in there. Working on more electrical setup with MRC. Bought a district booster. Actually ended up with 2 of those, and I use these 3M connectors. Work pretty good. See how the layout's kind of a mess here. Here I am up on top of the layout doing drywall work. I'm painting. Fast Freddy's painting here. So yeah, that's all done. Now I'm going to start the second peninsula. It's at an angle. So I got this monstrosity of a peninsula I built. I could barely turn it around inside the room here, but I did get it turned around. And I'm adding pieces so it'll slide in and connect to the other one. You can see how it fits in there. Yep, I think I'm running a train here. I'm building shelves now to hold all my boxes. And I got these buildings at the Concord Model Railroad show. I'm running these 2 trains from as far as I can because I don't have the lift up built. Went to Lowe's, they don't have their pickup anymore, so I had to cut the plywood and more fascia in the parking lot. Here I'm starting my first failed attempt to build a lift up. I watched a video of a guy doing this. Well, mine didn't work out at all. So I ended up just setting it in there with no hinges and just temporary support there so I could run the train all the way around the layout. Put some more work into the peninsula. You can see where I'm laying the track out, and I've joined the track. I've got 2 trains running here. And more train running. Built this coal mine operation here. And more coal train running here. I built these dividers. That's why you didn't see the door in the last pictures. I used one of those dividers. I had to rebuild the interface between those two sections of bench work. Working on the coal mine. I put in my circuit breaker systems. Big long tanker train. Working on the bakery now, what I call Burlington. Building a coal pile. There's foam under there. Had to buy a bunch more turnouts. Burned a decoder up in one of my scale trains. Had to go back to the factory. Doing some more work here on the coal mine with my little trucks and stuff. Built this cement plant. Later replaced. Decided I wanted double track all the way around, so I took out the single track section here, put in the double track section. Went to the Concord Model Railroad sale. Here I'm running trains. We're running trains. Hey, it's a layout, run trains. Working on the the banks of my river here, building some landforms. Trying to do my lift up hinges, didn't work. Asked for help. People told me what I was doing wrong, so I corrected that later. Here's the guys coming from the Model Railroad Club to run trains. It's kind of chaotic. I wasn't really ready for them. Here I'm extending the divider between season 1 and season 2 work. Built this section for my locomotives. I did a little short story about locomotive repair. I added to the bakery, that ice house thing in the back. Built refinery pieces for my ethanol plant. Another building for and I'm decoupling here. It's typical. And on the lift up bridge, cars are decoupling, so I decided at the end of the year I got to install these things. But I went home. Season 4 started this year. Said goodbye to my little 6x16 layout. I got this big cement plant from Robert Flying Crow. I later moved that second cement thing. I might put that back. I did a lot of research on how they make cement because I was ignorant of that in my first video. These are things I bought over the winter. Added a siding for my container train. I'm going to rebuild this area later in the summer. Here I'm just running a real long coal train. Those are 2 locomotives I match. Here I'm trying to fix the hinges. Somebody told me how to fix the hinges, so I'm trying to redo the track work. I'm adding a siding up by the coal mine. Cut that old thing in half to make for the background building I made. Added another co-op silos. Starting to put sculpt mold on the landforms I built. Set up a test track so I can use JMRI to program my locomotives. It's part of my speed matching failure. Libby's checking out the layout. I built the lumber yard here. Here I am painting the top of the layout. I want to get rid of all that green. I didn't decide it wasn't good. Ran a whole bunch of my trains across there. Got a background for the cement plant. Starting to build mountains around my coal mine. I haven't yet done anything since this. Now this is where I failed at my little speedometer, trying to speed match. Starting to landscape the lift up bridge. Notice the plexiglass. Landscaping, putting grass on. My granddaughter helped for a little bit. I never have got her back to paying off her extra $10 she owes me. Big cold. Here I am working on redoing this track around the bakery. Put in 3 smales underneath. Had to cut out one of the 2x3s. So that's the new track work. I like that better. And another derail here over my bridge. So I finally decided enough was enough. So I tore it apart again. I think this is my 4th attempt to do this. So I put those little alignment gizmos in. You can kind of see the teeth there. These are these ProTrack alignment gizmos. Work pretty good. Here's the other side. I did both sides. I had to cut a hole in the side of my lift-up gate to get to the wiring. Here I'm putting a double crossover into my bench work, running trains here. And I'm adding an expansion on my Cargill area. Have a nice run around there. Pulling my hoppers around the layout. These are my jobs I set up for the Model Railroad Club visit. This is an Access database I built to manage those jobs. I put these flags all over the layout and then I had instructions on when to turn, what siding to use, things like that. Here's one of my last videos. I did this little horseshoe video with my long train, and that was the last car on the train. Thanks, Mark. I don't collect broken couplers, by the way. Here's a picture of the landscaping work I've done recently. This is showing the ballasting work I'm doing. Super tree work. Turned out pretty good. And I just didn't have enough leaves to make a lot of them, but I like those. And here's the final look at the ethanol area. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.